Hello, I'm Jenna or Jenna Cat, and welcome to my channel. I create a variety of video game and art-related videos here on YouTube, so if you'd like to give my channel a subscribe, I'd really appreciate that. For today's video, we will be getting into my speed build of my companion zoo. I love the new companion homes so much, but I've not seen many creators add them to their builds. The few that I have seen will be linked down below, and I highly recommend checking out these other creative people. So, without further ado, let's get into today's video. I started out with clearing out a large area in my Glade of Trust, and I had already imported several items that I knew I was going to use so I could start planning where I was going to be placing things. I put a vague area of where the entrance was going to go and cleared out a few more items, and then added some fence to really make that entrance pop, and the stone path, which I do end up changing later on because halfway through this build we got some new path items that I was so excited to use, and really excited that I got to use those on this build, so you'll see that later on in this video. And then I started making the companion enclosures, and I wanted to make the houses pretty far apart because the companions have such a wide range that they can explore in, and I wanted to keep each enclosure mostly related to the animal in that house. There is some overlap and they do like escape a little bit, but it's fine. This is a magical place, so the animals can roam free if they want to. So then I decided to put the white picket fence at the front instead of the trellis fence because the trellis fence obscured the view too much, whereas the white picket fence was a little bit more low-key so you could still see into each enclosure. And I even created a little bathroom area back in that corner there. And the first part of this video is just kind of figuring out like where things should go and trying and doing a trial and error type of scenario here. But I knew I wanted like a uniform entrance into each companion zone, so there was something to tie each enclosure to the other. And then I added some items that you'd find in each of the companions' home biomes. Here I am putting together the turtle enclosure. I knew I wanted the turtles to be near some water, so I gave them the river and that little pond there, adding the turtles into their little home, and now closing that up while they run around like crazy. I like to use those mushrooms in parts of my builds, the purple mushrooms that is. I don't get rid of all of them because I think they're actually really cute and add just some nice little flair to my build, so I left those and kind of added them in where I could. Now I'm just like placing a bunch of items that I know I'm probably gonna use and just piling them in an area, and I'll move them as need be. And those little geyser fountain items I only just recently got, and I'm so glad I did because I can use them in the fountain and in the turtle enclosure, and I also use a few in the crocodile enclosure as well. Now here I'm working on the food cart / picnic area where you can get your lunch, and adding some rocks to the bathroom to keep it nice and dry. And again, expanding this stone path that I will not keep. So, you know, I'm really glad I put that work in, just to have it deleted later. Now I'm adding some decoration to the other enclosures, so the raccoons get forest stuff and the turtles get beach stuff, so that they feel like they're at home with what they'd normally find in their biome. And now these two companion houses I thought were going to be my last two, then realized there were a few more companions I wanted to add, so I do end up adding 3 more homes beyond those, and you'll see soon enough how I expand this area. This build ended up being so much bigger than I anticipated, and I'm not mad about it. It's super cute, the final product. It just took so long and so many materials, but it was well worth it. So yeah, I originally planned the crocodiles to sort of be the end of this build, and that does not stay that way. And this crocodiles and the birds were like overlapping a little too much, so I do expand their enclosure so they don't overlap quite as much. Doing a little walkthrough, editing the companion houses a little bit. I do a lot of walkthroughs to make sure as I'm building that things are looking how I want them to look and like what needs to be fixed. Now I have my new Star Path items, which could not have come at a better time. I used several of the Star Path items and a couple of the premium shop items from update 5, and I think they fit perfectly with this build. So I've added another birdhouse to the aviary. So now I have a companion house for the ravens and a companion house for the sunbirds. So we've got a nice big aviary area. And that's was always my favorite part of like my local zoo, was the aviary, like being able to walk through all of the birds. And the zoo I went to, you were able to feed the birds nectar and they'd like land all over you, and that was just like super cool. So I kind of wanted to create like a similar vibe here. So I added a bunch of flowers that the sunbirds eat and use those to decorate. Now here I'm like working on like several different areas at once, so it's a little hard to follow. I apologize for how fast this video is, but the build ended up being so big that if I didn't speed up this footage as much as I did, this video would be like an hour long, and I did not want to do that to you guys. So bear with the fast-paced footage. This is truly a speed build. And here I'm working on the exit, adding more of the May statues and that iron fence to indicate the end of the zoo, while still keeping easy access to the river in case I need to fish later on. Adding a little bathroom at the entrance so you can go to the bathroom before you even get into the park. And this companion house in the corner is supposed to be for all of the like special magical companions that I really wanted to include but don't quite make sense in the main portion of the zoo. But again, this is a magical zoo, so we've got some magical animals. Now setting up the little aquarium area. I'm so glad that I got the Star Path item to add to my build. Now I'm just going through and like fine-tuning the decorations in each enclosure, adding some trees from the Forgotten Lands for the ravens. And here we've got our new bordered path. I love these new paths so much. I'm a little disappointed. They're a little finicky to use, but that I was able to work through pretty easily. But the thing I'm disappointed about, how I thought this path was gonna work, was that you just created the border path to add to paths you've already made. But no, unfortunately, you have to get rid of the path completely and make a whole new set of path with this border on it. And that just means I have like thousands of stone paths that are now obsolete because I cannot join it with the border path. And that is unfortunate and like a waste of stone for sure. I'm really happy that I got the popcorn machine for this build as well. That was a new recent item that showed up in Scrooge's shop, and I'm so happy I got it. I'm still waiting for the ice cream stand. That one I just want so bad and haven't seen it yet, but the popcorn one is also a really good item that I'm super happy about and used a couple times in this build specifically. And for the enclosures that go out to like another exit, I created a path in each of those enclosures. to indicate that like, hey, this enclosure goes somewhere else. The enclosures that just are end and don't have a like entrance and exit, I didn't put any path in, didn't think it was necessary. And now I'm adding some clouds for the foxes so they can get some of that snow, since that's the biome they are used to. And now we're working on the exit of the park. And I was playing around with some like zigzaggy pattern with this path that ends up doing something really cool with one of the premium shop items you'll see here in a moment. I was trying to figure out which item I should put there and ended up going with the cherry blossom tree. I think that looks perfect there. And I closed it up a little bit and added some pink flowers, and it's just so cute. My biggest tip for decorating is like, just start placing stuff down and see how it looks. If you don't like how it looks, take it out and try something different. I did that a little bit with that path. I wasn't sure how I wanted that path to look, so I tried a few different things and ended up with something I really liked. Now doing another walkthrough, making sure everything's looking good. I'm almost done at this point, but I do add a few things. Adding some benches to fill in some blank spaces, but to also give some seating areas. And then I realized that the picnic / food cart area was a little bland, so I added paths and forgot that I wanted to add paths to those other two enclosures anyways, and the path really just spiced things up and made it a lot more interesting to look at, so I'm glad I went ahead and added that in. And as always, I gotta put some food and drink on the tables to show that people are here and enjoying the park. And then for each of the enclosures, I tried to match the icon with close to what that animal eats. So like a fish for the fox, a lobster for the crocodile, a little basket for the raccoons to show that they like eat berries. Add a blueberry bush for the raccoons. Add some more cherry blossoms because I really love that item. And then I wanted to make this fire pit pop more, so I added a little border around it to make it look like an actual fire pit. And here we are. That concludes the speed build portion. Now we're gonna get into the tour. And while figuring out which villager I wanted to come with me on this grand tour, I decided that Anna was the perfect candidate because she's just so happy and go lucky, and I think she'd really enjoy looking at all these animals and feeding them and petting them. So without further ado, Anna and I are going to go for a tour. So here we've got the entrance. I use these hay bales as decoration, but also practical because it can be used for food or bedding. Then we've got our main entrance with the books as maps, the computer so you can buy your tickets, and those disposable cameras, which you can use to take pictures while you're in the park. Now, obviously this day and age, we have like digital cameras and phones that take pictures, but back in the day, that was something you did find in gift shops at amusement parks and zoos, with disposable cameras so you could take pictures of your time at the zoo. Now we're gonna head into the fox enclosure first and see all of our foxy friends. And we gave them like a ball to play with and a pumpkin to play with. I think they're really enjoying having their snow clouds, their little personal flurries. Sir, excuse me, sir, you are in the wrong enclosure. Please exit and kindly go back to where you belong, sir. Now that we've had some fun time with the foxes, let's go and check out the raccoons. I did add some like fruit and veggie stands so you could buy food to feed all of your fuzzy friends. And here we've got the raccoons. They're all chilling in the corner back here, so I can't really see them very well, but you know, there they are. Got a nice blueberry bush so they can eat blueberries to their heart's content. And I gave them some foresty items so they could feel right at home. And here I wanted this fountain to be kind of like a focal point and a nice little rest area so you could sit down, enjoy the view of all of the critters around you, and there's even like an aquarium back there as well so you could look at fish and just relax, take a midday break. Back here is a little toilet area. I'm obsessed with those outhouses. I cannot get over how cute they are, so I always use them with everything that I do. Now we'll go to the turtles, and I gave them like a little box of coconut. I don't think they eat coconut, but I thought it was cute. And for some of the enclosures, I put that little like water bucket next to indicate like this enclosure is about to be cleaned, since you know you gotta clean up after your animal friends. And I gave them just like a very beachy, shelly vibe with lots of water options, and they're just so cute, just waddling around. I love them. That's so cute. Now outside of the turtle enclosure, we've got a little picnic area where you can buy your lunch and sit down at a picnic bench and enjoy a nice lunch. Or you can go sit and relax by a fire pit. Maybe it's a cool day or in the evening and you just want to get warm and listen to the sounds of the critters all around you. Now we're gonna go check out the aviary, and so on their sign I put a flower because that's what the sunbirds eat. I know the ravens don't eat flowers, but it was the closest thing I could think of for the aviary portion. And I made like a nice strewn leaf path with a border so you can walk through and interact with the birds and feed them while you're in there. And I just love seeing all of them fluttering about. You've got the big birds for the ravens and the small sunbirds, and they just look really cool all together and definitely makes me feel like I'm at a zoo. Now on to my favorite companions, the crocodiles. I gave them some swampy area and some dirt, and just lots of things they can climb on or hide in, and a little watering hole and access to the river. Now we're getting close to the exit of the park, but we're not done yet. Also, look at how cute that cherry blossom area turned out. You can sit here and enjoy some nice view of the river, or go back through here and buy some more snacks for your companions. And here is where these special companions live, the little bit of magic companions. You've got that meringue squirrel and the shadow squirrel and the pink bunny, and then my favorite glowing pink companions. I love those ones so much. And yeah, I gave them some purple plants because purple is not a normal bush color, and these are not normal animals. And we've got some more popcorn and some more snacks you can buy, as well as the other little restroom area. Down here, you've got another bench with some nice views, more access to the river in case I need to go fishing. And finally, we're rounding up to the exit with some more May statues, which again, perfect for this build. Really adorable and great way to incorporate the Star Path items. Well, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I truly hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like down below. I had a really fun time building this companion zoo, and I hope it gives you ideas for your own companion zoo, or however you want to utilize the companion houses. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, and until then, I hope you have a lovely, lovely day.